What do I want in my workshop? My noggin is noodling. DIY friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danie, and today is another episode of The Garage Build, a series where I take you along my journey to build my dream garage space that includes a creative studio above. We are doing so much of the work ourselves to save on costs, so I'm taking you along for the ride, sharing all the ups and downs, my experiences, everything I learn. Maybe there's even mistakes, who knows, but it's all going to be shared right here. We are going to be doing a lot of odds and ends around this space, trying to get little projects done, and I want to bring you along for the ride. Now, if you missed past episodes, the full playlist has been linked above for you. And if you missed it because you are new to this channel, then hello, welcome. Feel free to hit that subscribe button and join this amazing Creative Beast community. We do all things home and DIY, and sometimes, well, we can get a bit weird, but we embrace the weird here. So with that said, let's get into this Creative Beast Garage episode. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. Boom. Did I scare you? All right, so I am flying solo today. You know, a lot of the garage work that we've done so far has been really like a multi-person job, installing windows or getting on the roof. So a lot of the work that we've done has been really solely kept to weekend work when I have Jeffrey with me. But you know, I have the next 2 days and I thought I want to get as much done as I possibly can, like the little jobs that kind of been holding us back a little bit, or we just don't have time to get to because we're just focusing on bigger picture things. And one of those little jobs is getting the exterior wall here done. The north wall and the south wall, as you can see, there's insulation running on the back wall, but there's going to be concrete board that sits on top of it. The reason why these two walls have been left is because it's a little bit more complicated than just sticking concrete board on top. A long story short, basically our foundation, the person who built our foundation for us, he was a bit green, and we thought it would be okay, and it wasn't okay, and our foundation wasn't built square. So the frame that sat on top of the foundation had to be kind of squared on top of it, which means that our foundation wall is a little bit wonky. So you can see this string here that's running all the way back. I have to compensate the concrete board that's going to sit on the outside. Essentially, we're going to be covering that concrete board with a parge, which is basically just like a concrete paste to make it look like a wall. So the concrete board's going to sit on top, but that line I basically have to compensate out. So I'm going to be creating shims in behind the concrete board to help compensate for this entire line. So at the end of this wall, we have about 3 inches that we need to make up for, and then it slowly tapers inward to the front of the wall. So it is really not a fun job. I'm not looking forward to it, but it can be fixed. Then you're probably wondering, well, like, how are you going to make that look good? Well, our drip edge, which you saw me and my dad install when we were doing the installation on the other wall, that drip edge is going to sit on top of it and basically just hide the top, and then the concrete, the parge is basically going to go over top, and it's just going to look like one big concrete wall. Now, could we have just put the concrete board down and made it unsquare? Yes, I suppose, but it just wasn't going to look good, and we're spending all this money. We might as well fix this problem. It's not an ideal situation to be in, but it is a situation that we are in. So this is how we're fixing it, and hopefully it goes well, and hopefully I don't screw it up. Here we go. I'm going to start. I'm going to start. I'm going to start. Oh God, it's so muddy. Oh my God, I just need to sit. We're gonna sit. Boo-boo, it's such a hard day. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love you too, boo. Okay, yep. That's nice. Hold on, boo-boo. I just want to drink some more water. I need a boost of energy in my life. Oh, I don't think I'm ever gonna get up from this spot. I am so tired. Oh, boo. I feel much better now sitting in the shade. In the shade. No shade to you, but you haven't done much work today. We still have an entire wall to do. Okay, we're getting started on side 2. Seems like we're starting big on this side and working our way to small on the back side, which is the opposite of the other wall. Well, that's just lovely. My drill bit broke again. I will not let this wall defeat me. You know, to be honest, sometimes I feel like there are days where DIYing can be the most frustrating thing, especially when it's not working out for you. And in those moments, take a deep breath. Remember that you are not an expert and that sometimes mistakes are going to be made and that you just have to problem solve, think about a solution, find a solution, because there always is one, and just do what you can to make it work. It might not be exactly the right way to do things, but you know what? You're doing the best you can, and that's all anyone can ever ask. My back, it's so sore. Danie, you're gonna make it. Oh my gosh, friends, that was some kind of day. It took so much longer than I was expecting, and honestly, like I'm happy with the way it turned out. It does like taper down the way that it was supposed to. I followed that line, but it was just so much work, but it's done. And that is what matters. So now what happens is we're just gonna be we're gonna tape off all of the sections that meet up. And then we're going to be taping the corners, and then we're gonna parge the whole thing, which is basically like a cement, kind of like a mortar. And the whole thing is gonna get parged, and then it's just gonna look like one giant cement wall. So I'm very excited for that part. I do feel like the parging is gonna be like a really satisfying thing to do. So I'm very excited to do that. Hopefully maybe next weekend. Unclear. I feel so good. I feel so good. I also feel so incredibly sore. My butt is oddly cold because the mud was really cold. So, although I did not enjoy myself, it was a good DIY day. I need to go shower. Good morning, friends. Me and Kenobi are just having a wonderful morning in the garage space. I've set up kind of like a little desk area. I got my hot cold drink combo going. I thought today would be a great day to take a break on my body and just have some fun and brainstorm what I want for this interior space, what we want it to look like, what we want the style of it to be, how we want to organize it. Jeff keeps asking me questions like, where do you want the electrical? How do you want the walls to go? Where do we want to put storage? Like, how do we want this interior to look? And I'm like, I don't know. We need to start a mood board. We need to kind of pull in some inspiration of spaces that I really like and what I see for this. And I figured, why don't you guys come along with me? Why don't we do it together? You guys can weigh in the comments. What kind of things are you liking? Maybe you have a workshop of your own. What's working for you? What kind of elements do you wish you had in your workshop? Let me know in the comment section below, because I could use your help. Now, before I start brainstorming on any space, I really like to outline what are my goals for this space? What does the design need to meet? So these are my goals. First and foremost, I want to have like a big 360 access table for doing projects on. This table is actually going to have a cabinet saw attached to it. So the table is going to act as an outfeed table as well. But this table is just going to be large and in charge and just so capable of multiple projects happening on it. I want to make sure I keep lots of open space. Yes, we are going to put a lot of organization in here, but I don't want to ever take away from this idea of having lots of space to be able to do big DIY projects. I want closed shelving. I just want to keep everything behind closed doors and cabinets just to keep surface areas open and just keep the appearance of a clean space. If we do build in any kind of organization into this space, it's all going to be built into cabinets so that everything can be tucked away, and that way I just pull out what tools I need for each project and that's it. I would love some kind of space where I can have either it's a chalkboard or a whiteboard or maybe a clear acrylic board, but just somewhere I can put my ideas, put my cut list on, and just brainstorm ideas. I definitely want seating. Sometimes you're working on monotonous things like staining or just smaller projects at a work table, so I do want to incorporate some kind of seating in here that could potentially be tucked away and not be intrusive on workspace. I definitely want a miter saw station, a drill press station, and a band saw station, maybe. I want every tool to kind of have its own space and potentially maybe be mobile, so every little station is on wheels so that you can pull it out or move it around depending on what project is going on. I would love a sanding area. I definitely want to incorporate a good vac system to keep down the dust. That is one thing that my She Shack did not have, and it is one thing that I definitely want to make sure that I incorporate into this space to keep the dust down and keep my lungs clear. We are also going to need a solid amount of wood storage, so whether that's an area where the wood is going to be stored, or maybe I create some kind of like mobile moving wood storage area, would be kind of nice. And then the last thing is purely just aesthetic. What do I want this space to look like? Do we want to go raw wood? Do I want to inject color? Do I want to go like a black and white theme or a black and wood theme? You know, that is something where I really want you guys to weigh in on. Like, what do you see for this space for me? You know, you guys have been watching my channel for a very long time. You know what my style is. You know what I love. In the She Shack, I definitely did not shy away from color. I don't know if I necessarily want that for this space, like that much color. I don't think I want to do a mural wall. My gut is telling me that I want to keep it clean, but that could mean with color. I don't know. So those are my goals that I want to meet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Milanote board. I'm gonna put all these goals in that board, and then we're just gonna start pulling photos and pulling inspiration pictures that I like. So let's do it. All right, let's open Pinterest. Garage workshop. Ooh. Now, I love this first one, especially the dog, but I like that kind of wall organization for all the chisels and smaller tools, and then the black cabinets underneath. Ooh, I like this one here. I mean, I'm not against the plywood look as a wall, and then you can build in like customized shelving. But again, see, this one has more of the tools out in the open. And while for a very visual person like me is great, I just know that for this space, it's just not something I want. I do love this idea of having the chop saw built into the table and then having like one long table across the back to be just like a cutting space. And then everything else is just open. Oh, this is interesting, like a sliding door situation so that you can kind of have things on the front with the slats and then have things hiding in behind it. We'll throw that picture in there. Let's go into workshop garage design. Now this is interesting. This table here has a bunch of storage built into it for tools. Now that might be nice because then the tools are tucked away. They're not really visible and it keeps all of your surface area very open. I will save that. I am going to create a board called Workshop Inspiration. So I figured then if you guys are looking to redo your space and you want some of the inspiration photos that I chose, I will share both my Millinote board and you can find this on my Pinterest page if you want to go and follow it. Ooh, I kind of love this photo for some reason. I think it's like the airiness of this. You know, I like that she has this 360 access table. Now this is interesting. We have a very clean space. We have white walls, some interesting lighting, and the board to which holds all the items. I kind of love this green. Maybe we go some organic wood with some green pops. I'm gonna save it in my workshop inspo. I love that 360 table with all of the little cubbies built into it. That's wonderful. I also love this back wall with all the little cubbies built in. And then look at this giant, I don't know if that blackboard, is that a cork board and then a chalkboard there? Could we have both cork and chalk in here? Blasphemy. Okay, I'm gonna put that in. I love spaces with lots of like surfaces. So even having maybe some kind of table that can also be tucked away, like a fold down table, but something that can come up when you need it, the extra space, because I'm gonna have like a 360 space in the workshop area, but then we kind of have this like middle area in the garage that's gonna be open, and it would be so nice if, you know, there's a second work table potentially. My noggin is noodling right now. I never even thought to like maybe add more than one table, but now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, yeah, so see here, there's like multiple tables here and all these tables are on wheels, so that's great. So it can roll around and be rearranged, so that's nice. Okay, I'm gonna save this. Okay, so here's the miter saw station here. Ooh, I kind of love the lights that sit above it. Let's see how clean this is. I really enjoy that. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get lots of cabinets in this space without having to take up so much wall space. I think it's kind of nice that it feels airy, you know, and it's not just like storage everywhere, but it is something we're gonna have to think about. I love this. What a beautiful leather shop. Okay, ooh, look at this one. Ooh, this has like a nice industrial feel. Ooh, I kind of love that there's like faux beams up top. Would it be insane to put faux beams into my garage? It would be insane. We're not doing that, right? But are we? No, okay, no. We couldn't. Could we? Ooh, I love this here. Okay, what's interesting is these stairs are black. So I'm gonna also need to figure out my stair situation. So as I've mentioned in past episodes, these stairs that are in here right now, these are just temporary and we're gonna have to build those eventually. But I do love this black stair and then the railing. It's very sleek, it's very simple. Ooh, I wonder, could I weld the railing for my stairs? Okay, I'm gonna save this. Now this is something that's interesting, a way to inject color while also still staying organic is having all of the exposed edges colorful. That's interesting. Okay, so here's something interesting. I was talking about the mobile wood storage. I really like this. I feel like this could be like tucked against a wall or it could be put back behind something. So I think something, or incorporating some kind of wood storage like this is definitely the way to go, 100%. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is a really good idea. Using a PVC pipe, because I use an orbital sander. Actually, I have exactly that orbital sander, and then using the PVC pipe to write on what is the grit, and then having like, it's like a little pull-out thing. I actually really like that. Clever people out there. Oh, see, yes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. See, this is like behind doors, but everything has its organization. Okay, so this is definitely something that I see for myself in this workshop. This is perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. So this is interesting, having a section that's off the tables to be able to have a place to sit down and work. Maybe there's something where the stools can like slide in and you attach it to the top so that they just float. So if you need to move the table around, you know, like those upside down wine glass holders, you know, that you put the foot of the wine glass into that like slidey rack. What if there's something about stools that you build that for? So the head of the stool slides into a rack underneath the table, and that way it just floats. So when you need it, you pull it out and you can sit down on it. It doesn't take away space for your legs, but then when you want to roll your table around and not have them out, you can slide them back in underneath. Oh, an interesting idea, Danie. Now, I like this. I like how clean this is. I like that this little work table also has storage on wheels. I like that it's floating, so that's an interesting idea. Having everything that's floating so you can clean underneath it and so you don't get any cobwebs, that's smart. I'm going to save this one. And another thing actually we need to incorporate is our apothecary style cabinet, which is now in the garage and has come in handy already. So this is going to be worked into the design, and it's going to have to be incorporated in some way, which this already kind of has like a, you know, industrial-esque vibe, that if all the cabinets that we pull in here also end up having that dark walnut look, I think that could be really nice. Something to think about. All right, so I'm gonna go into my workshop inspiration board that I have 28 pins in here. So let's take a look and see what is reoccurring. So we clearly have dark cabinets, light wood tops, darker cabinets. I really think I'm kind of leaning towards that. Definitely modern organic, closed storage. I'm definitely seeing an industrial vibe here. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, I love a good industrial style. Like, I think my style is like a combination of industrial, modern organic, Japandi, with a touch of farmhouse. It's kind of all over the place. There's a little bit of traditional in there. In this space, I think going a little bit more modern industrial, maybe with like a sprinkle of Japandi would be nice. So take that and see what you can comment down below of what you could see in this space. This has been the best brainstorming session I've ever had. I feel like I came out of here with lots of ideas and a lot more direction of where I want to go. Okay, so now that I've seen all of this, I think I want to kind of like talk it through. Okay, hold on. Sorry, boo-boo. Did I ruin your nap? Okay, so I just wanted to move that table out of the way just so that we could kind of visualize some of the ideas that we talked about. So right here is where the cabinet saw slash outfeed table slash 360 axis table is going to live. So I'm thinking this whole back wall could just literally be floating shelf, like a low floating shelf with the miter saw in the middle. Maybe we can have some upper cabinets, but around the chop saw, I don't want any cabinets, so we'll keep this area open. Having this section open here in the middle will give me the opportunity to kind of maybe even add like a little sign or some kind of DIY light. And then we run into the issue of the stair area. Our temp stairs are here, but these stairs are probably gonna go out to probably about here. I think I'm gonna paint the stairs black, but I really think I wanna use this as an opportunity to weld my own railing. Like we saw in that photo, I'll pull it back up. I kind of love this idea, and I have the ability to weld. I think like keeping it open and then having the little, you know, like little poles or slatted look would look really awesome. And then maybe under here, because we're gonna have a cabinet that comes out, and maybe we just keep it going and do like a little L shape under the stair. Maybe this is like the drill press area, although I do kind of worry that, say the piece is bigger than what this space holds, do I want the drill press area? Maybe it can actually pull out. So maybe it can be self-contained, it's on its own wheels, and then you can slide it back in, and then this is kind of the area for the drill press. And maybe something else that I'm not thinking about. I do want a welding station, but I don't know if here makes the most sense for that. This could be maybe the sanding section, so have like a belt sander here. I don't know, but I think as long as it's on its own self-contained, I could pull it out and use it, and then have this, and then maybe I build in like a little light underneath here that shines down to kind of illuminate this space. And then not the whole stair would be used, so maybe like a little storage element could be built into here, a unique kind of triangle shaped cabinet that pulls up open, and then there's some storage space under there. What do you think? What do you think? And then here we'll have another big table on wheels that can move around. It's just another workspace. So if I do want this open area, I can wheel it either to this back wall, or I can wheel it into this back section. And then this back wall, we can pull in this guy, maybe a little bit more this way, and then have this as kind of open tool storage. We'll have the blackboard, maybe we'll have 2 blackboards in the middle, and then we'll do some more cabinets here. And then this side, which is basically home and garden side. This is where the lawnmower is going to be kept for the time being, but we'll have like a cabinet space that goes across here to about here. And then maybe this is where we do the slatted wall. And then so we can have big tall cabinets here, kind of open slatted area, and maybe like another tall cabinet here. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? The other thing I think I need to think about though is having a place to photograph my pieces. It's one thing that I've never had. It's one thing that I've always wished I had, but maybe I can build in some kind of pull down system from the ceiling, like a white backdrop. There's this pole here, so maybe on this side of the pole, I have like a big white drop that comes down, and then I can do my photography against this, move the 360 table out of the way, and then I can photograph along this white backdrop. I think we have a plan, sort of. Well, DIY friends, we have somewhat of a plan, which is a heck of a lot more than what I had this morning. I think I'm kind of starting to see the vision now, having done that brainstorm. It was so helpful. You guys should weigh in. What do you think of these ideas? Is there something I'm not thinking about? Let me know. I'd love your advice, and I'd love for you to weigh in on things that you would love to see in this space. And hopefully you're excited for what I might bring to this space, because I am so excited to get started on it. And of course, sending so much love to my Patreon family. If you are looking for a space to connect with other DIYers, to share your projects, to get advice on projects, or maybe you want to give advice, then my Patreon is the place for you. It is linked to my description box. And as always, my friends, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye.